The Bayern side, Müller, Dremmler, Augenthaler, Grobe, Horsmann, Kraus, Breitner, Pflügler, Hoeneß and Rummenigge. So the match kicks off in the most magnificent atmosphere for a European night here at Pittodrie. The rain has been falling for some time before the match. The surface will be treacherous and greasy. And the stadium absolutely packed with tickets changing hands for very large sums of money today. So every seat is filled, and Paul Breitner trying to calm things down for the Bayern side, the very experienced German captain. The header from Cooper. Wide on the right is Delhaya. He will play in that position. He played against Rougvie in that position in the first leg, and that's a very heavy tackle. The referee is Monsieur Michel Vautreau from France. So the free kick to Bayern, and they'll be very happy to settle in the first 15 minutes, I'm sure, as Aberdeen try to pick up the pace, put them under pressure at the back. Augenthaler at the back. Breitner. Kraus is brought down, and again the free kick is given to Bayern. The Aberdeen players suggesting that the Bayern man took a dive. The French referee waving the Aberdeen players back. Jim Leighton, the keeper with the best record in this competition this season. This is Horsmann. Looking for Hoeneß in the middle. It's won by McLeish. A header from Grobe, and this time the free kick goes to Aberdeen. Eric Black will be a very important player up front for Aberdeen, linking up with McGhee. Strachan involved straight away. Wide on the far side is Rougvie. McGhee trying to turn. Now McLeish. Strachan with his marking players very close to him. Grobe wins it. Full-back's in trouble, and the clearance from Augenthaler. That was a little bit risky at the back for Bayern. Horsmann in the way. Simpson challenging fiercely with Dremmler. So did Cooper. This is Delhaya, tackled by Simpson. Well, the tackling is already very tough indeed in midfield. This is Pflügler, the man who replaced Weir from the first leg. Now Rummenigge. Going away from Strachan. Simpson coming to meet him. This is Dremmler. Played in first time by Delhaya. Rummenigge wins it, but he had to climb on the shoulders of Neil Cooper to do so. Stuart Kennedy for Aberdeen. Horsmann going in heavily behind Eric Black. Very experienced player, Udo Horsmann. And the clearance off the toes of Neil Simpson. And Aberdeen have started as though they mean business. Augenthaler on that occasion, making the clearance. And the corner kick expert is Peter Weir, who's already gone to the right flank. The packed 6-yard box. Bit of pushing going on in the eyes of the referee, and it appeared as though Rougvie was the man penalised. Peter Hoeneß was back helping out in defence. Hoeneß has taken a knock, some blood in the nose, I think. Rummenigge losing to Müller, but this is Hoeneß. Breitner misses it. Cooper now to Strachan. Running away from Pflügler, and on the left, Peter Weir. Delhaya's number 10 going back to help his defenders, taking on Dremmler. This great play from Weir. The cross is touched on by McGhee. And Black was just a little bit too close to McGhee as that flick came over. Now Kennedy. Going outside Pflügler. Eric Black. And he's won the corner kick. And Aberdeen have started in very impressive fashion indeed. Looking very sharp and businesslike. So Black goes to the goal line. So does McGhee. McLeish and Rougvie are also in the box as Weir takes the kick. McGhee coming off his marker to the short corner. And Weir will have the chance once again. Breitner marshalling the Bayern defence. Weir's corner kick. Kennedy wants it back in the danger area as quickly as possible, but it was McLeish, I think, who was caught coming out. Free kick's already taken for Bayern. Hoeneß has broken to the right. And Willie Müller calmly escorting it back to Jim Leighton. Breitner. Boxed in by Strachan, Cooper and Kennedy. Kraus. Dremmler, member of the West German national side. Horsmann and Augenthaler retaining possession at the back. Rummenigge is offside. Well, Rummenigge is playing very close to Dieter Hoeneß in the early stages, right through the middle for Bayern. McLeish playing it forward, McGhee holding off Augenthaler. Losing it rather softly to Pflügler. There's Grobe breaking from the back. Del Haye on the right. Look at the pace of this man, can he catch it? Well, he was very keen to try to outpace Rougvie before the big fullback could get too close to him. Rougvie taking the short goal kick from Leighton. Careless ball easily picked up at the back. Rummenigge. He's got Pflügler on his left. It's very tight though. And Breitner is the supporting player in midfield. Pflügler again. Kraus and Horsmann trying to work the 1-2. Simpson steps in. Weir is breaking on the left of Neil Simpson. Well-timed tackle by Dremmler. And the challenge coming in from Neil Simpson, quite decisive. Cooper and Simpson together in the midfield for Aberdeen. Formidable pair. And the crowd virtually getting that foul throw decision for Aberdeen. Referee Vautreau was rather slow. McGhee running into trouble. Aberdeen's throw on the far side. Black is in the centre forward position, allowing McGhee to wander to either flank. There's McGhee. Back it comes to Simpson. Well, you can see how hard he worked to keep the shot down, but he didn't get the power or the direction right. Rummenigge being hustled by Müller. The referee decides that was unfair. The Aberdeen skipper, Willie Müller, goes back. Horsmann picks up the shot. Free kick from Rummenigge and back to Augenthaler. And Dremmler content to use Manfred Müller in the Bayern goal. Hoeneß jumping with McLeish. And Hoeneß appeared to foul McLeish, but no, the referee gives the decision the other way. Well, I thought that Hoeneß was backing into McLeish all the time. Nevertheless, the referee's decision is what matters, and Bayern have the free kick. Inevitably, it's Breitner over the ball. Augenthaler looking for a chance to shoot. And that's the moment that Aberdeen were dreading. Augenthaler, with a marvellous goal, puts Bayern in front. Stunned silence all round the stadium. The Aberdeen supporters can't believe it, and it really couldn't have been any simpler. A harshly given free kick in my view, but Breitner made the most of it. Knocked the ball square. Augenthaler came forward, showed a lot of dexterity to create the space, and the shot left Leighton totally helpless. Well, that puts the pressure right on Aberdeen. After that great performance in Munich, they now face the prospect of having to score at least twice if they're going to stay in the European Cup Winners' Cup. So Müller playing it away. Touched on by McGhee. So 11 minutes gone as Bayern now start to try to settle on the lead. Bayern, of course, managed 1-1 draws away from home in the last 2 rounds against Moscow Torpedo and Tottenham Hotspur. And a 1-1 draw, of course, would be good enough on the away goals rule to take Bayern through. Rougvie was hoping for a decision there from the referee, but the goal kick is given. McLeish's header. We haven't seen much of Strachan. That was his header to Cooper. Black looking for Strachan. Well, it runs for Kennedy. Now Strachan. Aberdeen did a great deal from little man tonight. Robbed by Rummenigge. The free kick is given to Aberdeen. Rummenigge out of your picture, shaking his head in disbelief. There's McGhee going through. And the German cover was good enough. A goal scorer, Augenthaler, coming across. It'll be a throw to Aberdeen at the corner flag. Stuart Kennedy's there. Breitner's header, helped out by Hoeneß. Rummenigge is the only man up now for Bayern. Delhaize breaking on the right. Good anticipation from Willie Müller. He saw that move coming and cut across very quickly on Delhaize. Augenthaler will play that all the way back to Müller. Very experienced keeper, Manfred Müller, 35 years old, replacing Jan-Marie Pfaff, who is injured, the Belgian international goalkeeper who broke Scotland's hearts in December at Brussels. Simpson. Strachan has found some space. It's immediately closed down by Breitner. Rougvie's free in the far side. Now Weir. Rougvie's continued the run. He wasn't picked up by Delhaize. The ball driven against Grobe, giving Aberdeen the throw. Now Simpson. Back to Cooper. Well, they scored against Partick Thistle on Saturday, but did threaten Müller in the German goal tonight. Good header from McLeish, but Weir had come inside. Dremmler playing it to the German left. This is Horsmann. Strachan challenging. With a touch on from Rummenigge. Müller is first to the ball. A little bit of the sting has gone out of Aberdeen with that shock goal in just 11 minutes from Augenthaler. They really have a mammoth task ahead now. Good play from Strachan. Now he's got the chance to attack Augenthaler. Grobe is getting back to cover. Well-timed tackle by the Bayern defender. Pflügler leaves it to Rummenigge. And already the Aberdeen supporters know the class of the opposition. Rummenigge retaining possession for Pflügler. This is Kraus running into a tight corner. Pflügler inside to Rummenigge. Rummenigge is the focal point of every Bayern attack. Well, Hoeneß run away from Rummenigge. Neil Cooper apologising to his teammates for that hasty clearance into touch. He had a lot more time than he knew. Horsmann is number 3. He's already got a European Cup medal. He won it at Hampden Park against Saint-Etienne in 1976. The throw is given. Pflügler goes down, looks for a free kick. The throw is already taken by Aberdeen. McLeish. Rougvie looking for McGhee. There's Weir trying to thread that up the line for Simpson. And the Aberdeen supporters have gone strangely silent, acknowledging now that the task ahead is formidable indeed. Bayern have already shown themselves to be a very, very high quality outfit, and they've got that precious lead. Now Kennedy can retrieve that, or he'll let it go for the throw. Bayern are content to pull every man back whenever Aberdeen have possession, including Rummenigge and Hoeneß, their strikers. Strachan forced to go deep to win possession. There's Cooper. Now Müller, just too high for Black. McGhee arriving a fraction too late. Misunderstanding between Cooper and McLeish. Rummenigge on the break. This is dangerous for Aberdeen. Del Haye is free in the right. This could be disaster for Aberdeen. And Del Haye doesn't quite get control quickly enough. So the danger of Rummenigge quite clear once again for Bayern. Now Weir on the break. Well, Black's control wasn't good enough, but Strachan has space in the centre of midfield. Rather ambitious pass intended for Weir. Now Rougvie. Black helps it on. He hoped, I think, that McGhee was standing a little further off him. Good control from Hoeneß. Now Del Haye looking for the opportunity all the time to exploit his tremendous pace. Breitner controlling midfield. Augenthaler has settled very well in the heart of the West German defence. Well, Rougvie took his time about that. Good header from McGhee. But once again, the Bayern cover is excellent. Grobe this time coming over. Well, you can hardly blame the Bayern defender. They're controlling things for the moment. Strachan to Müller. McGhee once again getting a touch as he goes up with Horsmann. He was bumped from behind, and Aberdeen get the free kick. Horsmann going back to mark McGhee. Strachan is over the free kick. Chip towards McGhee, looking for the turn. And once again, the tackling was positive enough on McGhee, but Aberdeen have won the corner. Now every Bayern player is inside the box except Rummenigge. Weir with a kick. Won by Augenthaler again, and this is Kennedy to Weir, who stayed on the right. Far post ball. Rougvie was there, but he was covered all the way back. Dremmler did well. And now Del Haye has a chance to make a run in the break. Misunderstanding there, allowing Weir to come in. Now he's a shooting chance for Peter Weir. Well, he could have gone further on, I think. Did well initially to create the space, but he really could have attacked the box before letting fly with the shot. Relaxed figure Rummenigge in the centre circle. Rougvie's header is collected by Simpson. We are running into trouble. Bringing down Dremmler. Wolfgang Dremmler, a key man in the West German World Cup squad in Spain last summer. He played in the final against Italy. So Breitner lining up the free kick. The referee insisting that Peter Weir goes back the full 10 yards. Well, no pretense at going on the offensive by the Germans. Rummenigge once again finding space, playing off Hoeneß. Breitner beaten by Strachan, and the referee gives the free kick. Breitner was in trouble. Michel Gautreau, the French referee, looks very calm and relaxed. So Strachan moving forward as Rougvie has possession on the left for Aberdeen. Here's Eric Black. That's a good turn. Finding Kennedy in space on the right. The early cross coming up. Pflügler for yet another Aberdeen corner kick. Once again, Weir coming across, and the tall Aberdeen defenders go forward. This time, the variation, the short one. Kennedy flighting it in. That's a great header off the crossbar by McLeish. And a let-off indeed for Müller in the German goal. That was a great effort. And still, McGhee coming forward, trying to find a way through. He's brought down. The referee waves aside these faint appeals for a penalty kick. We'll take a look at that header one moment as Aberdeen come forward again. Here's Strachan playing it across. McLeish is still there. Down it comes for Simpson, and the shot goes over. Well, Aberdeen picking up the pace. It could so easily have been the equaliser. Very intelligent corner kick by Peter Weir, playing it short to Kennedy. Kennedy flighting it across. There was the header. Müller was beaten, but the crossbar rescues Bayern. McLeish playing it back. So the free kick to Aberdeen, Rougvie. He's certainly showing plenty of urgency. Here's McGhee. And another corner kick to Aberdeen. Supporters coming to life again. They're picking things up, making a lot of noise in support of the favourites. They went quiet after Augenthaler's goal. So Weir this time from the left. Rougvie's there, beaten by Augenthaler. And Rummenigge setting up Del Haye on the break on the right. The great return pass. And Cooper did well, getting back to close down the space for Rummenigge and regain possession for Aberdeen. Strachan, he's been forced to go very deep indeed to get possession. Really hasn't had much of the ball in the last third of the pitch. Now here he's got the opportunity from Cooper. Kennedy on the overlap. Looking for room to make the cross. That's easily mopped up by Bayern. Now Cooper. Missing Strachan, the ball's out for the throw. So Cooper's having a tough battle in midfield. And no urgency at all about the German throw. Strachan keeps it in and wins the throw, playing the ball off Udo Horsmann. McGhee very strong on the ball. Still retaining possession. Strachan staying available just behind him. Müller coming forward. That's well read again for the German defence. Augenthaler in particular, he's had a tremendous match in the heart of the defence so far. Weir is brought down and the whistle goes. Wolfgang Kraus was the offender. Weir almost carried on. And Rougvie is getting a little bit heated about the time-wasting tactics of the Bayern players. So the short free kick. McGhee trying to make room for the shot. Well high, finding Rummenigge. The secret for Rummenigge at this stage is to retain possession, to allow the support to arrive from the back in midfield. He's done that superbly. Kraus couldn't control it. Now Weir. Strachan wants it inside. And Simpson. A little bit obvious with the inside pass towards Strachan, allowing Kraus to make the tackle. Now McLeish. Well, the Germans are quite content to allow Aberdeen to play the ball square across their back four. It's the penetrating passes which are much more difficult for the Aberdeen players. Kennedy trying to go beyond Pflügler. And this is why Pflügler is playing in place of Weir, because of his defensive qualities. The clearance falling straight for Willy Müller. Well, that's a pass Müller will want to forget. It's cut up by Hoeneß. Pflügler put under pressure by Strachan. Good ball inside. This is Hoeneß. Immediately looks for Rummenigge, who's waiting inside. So Hoeneß working hard up front to make room for Rummenigge. Rummenigge plays in that area just off the principal striker Hoeneß. The pass cut off by Cooper. Now Müller. Strachan taking up good position on the right. Kennedy's coming on the outside. There's Black. We'll have to use Kennedy, I think, behind him. No, I'm doing him less than justice. Good play by Black. And the clearance inevitably from Augenthaler. And Black is on the ground. He took a knock as he played the ball across. Well, he's been showing some good flashes of form up front. Aberdeen wouldn't like to lose him at an early stage in the match. Seems to be all right. Kennedy's header inside. Strachan had a chance for the cross. Beautifully flighted. Dremmler did well beating Weir, and this is Del High trying to get it away from Neil Simpson. Bayern get the throw. Pushing by Willy Müller, he clearly disagrees. The victim was Rummenigge. So Rummenigge going way into the deep position to take the free kick, now leaving it to his former international colleague Breitner. Well, I think if Aberdeen had any doubts at all before the match, they've been dispelled now. They are in for a very difficult night indeed. Mark McGhee will be a vital player up front, but this undoubtedly is perhaps the biggest task that Aberdeen have had to face in their European career. The quality of this Bayern side becoming more and more apparent as the match goes on. Grobe this time coming forward. Rougvie intercepts for Weir. Simpson immediately put under pressure. Kraus. Del High trying to outpace Rougvie, unsuccessfully. The long stride of the fullback. Well, what's the decision? And in fact, it's Bayern who are getting the free kick. The referee judging that Rougvie fouled Del High when he made that challenge. Once again, that did seem a trifle harsh. Breitner to Rummenigge. Müller attacks the ball, plays it wide. That's not a good clearance. McLeish at full stretch. Well, he had Pflügler coming in behind him. McLeish very angry about the quality of the initial clearance. So Bayern have the corner kick, which they're in no hurry at all to take. Rummenigge strolling over. Whistles from the Aberdeen supporters. Leighton on the line, Simpson guarding the post. Good corner by Rummenigge, headed away by McLeish. Dremmler playing it forward for Del High, and much too firmly. That's Aberdeen's goal kick. So Del High has stretched the Aberdeen defence on their left flank with his pacey running. Rougvie inside to Müller. Once again, the Germans funnel back into their own half. The only passes on are passes which are square across field. The German marking is very tight indeed. Cooper's header, and the flag was up on the near side, the French linesman. Free kick quickly taken, playing the ball back to Manfred Müller in the Bayern goal. Hoeneß holding off McLeish to allow Rummenigge to win possession. Del High is available on the flank. It's a good crossing position. Hoeneß and Rummenigge both attacking the ball, but no power in the header. Now Strachan. Good throw out that from Leighton. Black coming off his marker, leaves it to Strachan. Neil Cooper. Rougvie helps it out to Weir. Strange hush around Pittodrie. Well, Simpson felt that he was being harshly dealt with from behind, but the ball is out and it's a goal kick to Bayern. And really now you can hear a pin drop inside Pittodrie. The Aberdeen supporters realise just how tough it is. So the beach end remains pretty quiet. He's trying to build up some singing now. Müller robbing Rummenigge. Strachan. Hasn't been the influence in the match that all the Scottish supporters hoped. He's won the free kick this time. The attentions of Pflügler are penalised. And the ball is played away by Breitner. Strachan upset about that time-wasting manoeuvre, and really the referee will have to take a grip on this. We're barely over the half-hour mark, but the Bayern players making it perfectly clear they'll use all their wiles as far as they can. As Weir plays it across, and that's great handling by Müller. McGhee was waiting. Well, that was a fine attack by Aberdeen. Weir finding space in the box, turning on it, playing it at an angle across Müller. McGhee was waiting, but the handling of the goalkeeper was quite superb. Augenthaler. Pflügler. Rummenigge retains the ball as if it's tied his boots by elastic. Kraus. Del High has enough pace to reach that. Very deep cross. Well, Pflügler might have left that to Breitner. Horsmann robbed by Strachan. A bit of space now for Aberdeen to work. If McGhee can work up some pace on the right. Running at Grobe. And playing the ball against the defender to win the corner kick. But to be fair to McGhee, the support through the middle was a little slow in arriving. Well, the crowded goal mouth again as Weir plays it low this time. Strachan trying to find a way through. Back to Cooper. That was blocked by Hoeneß and behind for the corner. And Dieter Hoeneß, the principal striker along with Rummenigge, right inside his own box to block that shot from Cooper. Eric Black is number 10, McLeish is number 5. Near post ball, McGhee trying to help it on. There's Simpson. Cooper leaping for it. And touched back calmly by Kraus. Rougvie. Weir came back very quickly to stay onside. Well, that prevented him reaching the ball. There's Del Haya with Simpson snapping at his heels. The road to Müller and goal was cut up by McGhee. Müller did not take his eye off the ball as Rummenigge came at him. Well, good spirit there between the two international players. Linesman gives the throw to Aberdeen. And the foul throw at that. The linesman indicating that Kennedy offended in some manner, I think perhaps encroaching on the field as he took the throw. Müller to Strachan. Look at the crowd of players around Strachan. And this time he's got a little bit more space. The far post ball is too high for Black. So no danger there for Müller. Rummenigge has taken a knock. Horsmann thumps it high into the terracing. Strachan's throw played in by McGhee. Now Müller replaces Kennedy on the touchline. Breaks for Cooper, now McGhee. That's a great cross, Eric Black is there. It's off the line, no, it's played in by Simpson, and Aberdeen are level. Pittodrie comes alive. Neil Simpson, the scorer. So Simpson, with his 9th goal of the season, gives Aberdeen a lifeline. It looked as though Bayern had control. Created on the right. Space found to make that cross. A great ball across from McGhee. Black did very well beyond the far post and nodded back to the goal line. Was blocked on the line, and Simpson in typical fashion coming through to follow up and score. So 7 minutes from the interval. The scoreline: Aberdeen 1, Bayern Munich 1. And let's see the extent to which that lifts Aberdeen. And Neil Simpson made tremendous ground to score that goal. He came from a very deep position when he saw the opportunity being created. So Breitner fighting in the free kick. Miller's header is kept in play by Strachan. Kennedy and Müller being very careful. That's good play from Müller. Oh, that's inspiring play from the Aberdeen captain. He's still sprinting through the middle to get involved in this attack. And Strachan's long flung ball towards Weir doesn't get there. Rougvie coming in heavily behind Del Haya is penalised. Rougvie suggesting that he wanted the ball, and Del Haya simply made the back for him. But the French referee gives the free kick. McLeish and Hoeneß. Well, McLeish is penalised. Hoeneß appears to be making a great deal of that. Well, now he gets to his feet. The referee is giving an indirect free kick, indicating dangerous play by McLeish. Well, I think the Scotland centre-half was harshly dealt with again, making his protest known to Hoeneß, indicating that he went for the ball and Hoeneß perhaps didn't. Breitner will take the free kick. Leighton's committed. Well, for one horrible moment, it appeared as though he may have come too quickly. Offside flag is up on the far side. Aberdeen's free kick. Now they'll want to press home their advantage before the half-time whistle goes. Del High. Simpson to Strachan. Now Müller inviting McGhee to come off his marker. Grobe, he did so. Still McGhee. There's great play from the Aberdeen striker, and Kraus is back helping out in defence. We'll keep that in. Low one play towards Strachan. Well, the first time shot was absolutely right, he just didn't control it. Swept back from Weir. Strachan had to take it first time, he had to try to keep it down, and he just couldn't quite make it. Skidding off the head of McLeish. Horsmann heads it only as far as Strachan. Handball surely, but the referee lets advantage go to Neil Cooper. Here's Kennedy. Switching to his left foot. Inviting Weir to challenge. Now that was a penalty kick surely. No, the referee's waving play on. There's Black. Grobe, the ball's coming on the bar and behind for the corner. Well now, that was very interesting indeed. Eric Black will no doubt feel he should have scored. But should that have been a penalty kick? The high ball coming in, Weir was barged off it. The referee waved play on. There's Cooper. Didn't get a hold of it. Well, for the first time in the match, it looks as though the Bayern defence may be creaking a little. They haven't looked quite the same since the equalising goal. So can Aberdeen cash in the final 2 minutes of the first half? There's Cooper. Now McGhee. A good tackle from behind. Well judged. Del High on the break. Rummenigge hanging back again to take the pass inside. And Strachan back to challenge. Cooper keeps it in, but only for the benefit of Dremmler. Del High to Dremmler. Well, no qualms at all about taking it all the way back. Dremmler has 20 West German caps. Cooper using the pace of Kennedy and left Pflügler with that sprint up the right. Well, the cross wasn't up to the standard, but Kennedy had a second chance. Good play again from McGhee. Look at the cover. Grobe coming across very fast indeed. But McGhee beginning to look as if he's very much in the mood. Short corner kick, and Strachan now weaving for position in the box. Inviting a rash tackle, making the byline, and winning the corner kick off Paul Breitner. Well, that's a Strachan we all want to see. I think the confidence, the jink and run at the German defence. One rash tackle would need a penalty kick, and his skill could take him into a goal-making situation. Weir's corner. Header from Rougvie. Enough challenge on Big Rougvie to make it impossible for him to direct the header properly. So we're now into stoppage time. There hasn't been a lot of that in the first half. tackle by Cooper on Breitner has resulted in a bit of pain for Paul Breitner, unless he's doing a bit of dramatic acting. The look of his easy run forward, that might well have been the case, but here's Dremmler in a forward position for about the first time in the match. Aberdeen will have to beware these breaks on the back. A lot of quality in the play of Dremmler. Now, what has the referee given? It appears to have given a free kick to Aberdeen out at the corner flag. Rougvie's in a hurry to take it. Touched on by Black. The ruling figure of Mark McGhee chases it. He's turned well. Left foot shot is on. Good recovery tackle. And the half-time whistle goes. The Aberdeen supporters cheer their favourites off. The half-time scoreline: Aberdeen 1, Bayern Munich 1. A great second half ahead. So Bayern kick off the second half. Neil Simpson, the Aberdeen goal scorer, gets ready for another 45 minutes battling in midfield. In fact, it'll be the most important 45 minutes Aberdeen have faced in European football for a very long time indeed. 45 minutes between Aberdeen and the place in the semi-finals of a European trophy for the very first time. And they have to find the net. If they don't, they'll go out on the away goals rule. So the task is perfectly plain. And the signs were, towards the end of the first half, that they had found a way to rattle the West German defence. The key to that, perhaps, was their midfield. Cooper, Simpson and Strachan became more involved as the interval approached. The goal came from a spell of play involving these midfield players, and from that point on, Aberdeen looked to a revitalised side. Peter Hoeneß. That is Klaus Augenthaler, who's got a strapping on his right thigh, and I can imagine that the Bayern manager would not want to lose that player. Perhaps their best player in the first half, certainly their best defender, Del Hayer, sliding it towards the far post. Prodigious leap that by Pflügler, but didn't quite make it. Horsmann going forward, the cross, a bit of a misunderstanding there. McLeish appeared to leave it. Willie Miller thinks it should have been offside, I think. But the Aberdeen defence survives. A chance again to run at the West German defence, and McGhee is blatantly fouled. Blatantly pulled back as he went free. And the French referee really ought to be doing something about this. It was Wolfgang Dremmler who was the offender. You can see McGhee breaking clear. He was having a free run at goal, and Jersey blatantly pulled from behind. Now, what can Aberdeen produce from this set piece? We saw a masterpiece from Peter Weir on Saturday at Firhill. McGhee was the man fouled. I wonder if Peter Weir might take the kick. Number 11. Strachan is over the ball, knocking it square for Simpson. Well taken by Müller. The free kick worked well. That little square ball to the side from Strachan, getting Simpson an angle to shoot the ball beyond the wall, but Müller was down to it very quickly indeed. So a confab between the referee and the linesman results in the verdict going to Aberdeen after that little tangle. Free kick taken quickly, Strachan laying it back. Simpson playing it in. Cooper challenging, and he'll be penalised for lifting his right boot too high, I think. Normal European fashion. Yes, the free kick goes to Bayern. Augenthaler. Heavily strapped indeed, but the most influential member of the Bayern defence in the first half. And the scorer, of course, of a memorable goal. Would be just beating Rummenigge to that. Hoeneß trying to break past McLeish. And the Aberdeen centre-half showing good turn of pace there to play it back to his goalkeeper. Well, Weir appeared to be bumped from behind by Dremmler, and the header picked up by Kraus. This is Del Hayer. Oh, beautiful shimmy from Rummenigge. This is danger for Aberdeen. Rummenigge looks to be through. The danger still not clear as Breitner shoots, and the deflection gives Bayern the corner. Well, how's this for a little bit of magic from Karl-Heinz Rummenigge? The pass coming inside, a little shake of the hips, and he leaves Willie Müller for dead. He tried to tee up the ball by playing it inside rather than shooting himself, as he might well have done. Oh, Rummenigge very disappointed. That was a great opportunity. There haven't been many for Bayern in the match. That's the kind of chance he might well have scored from. And Breitner now trying to set up another. Great corner kick. Hoeneß got a touch. Leighton was in trouble. And Weir remains very cool, playing it forward. Black challenging. A good player of defence, and Weir just couldn't keep it in, slipping at the wrong moment. Kraus to Delhaya. Oh, look at that for pace. Rougvie left for dead. Keeper's clearance. There's Black. Leaves it to Strachan. McGhee immediately under pressure from Grobe. Simpson has Kennedy breaking fast on the right. Simpson still up in support. Strachan has made space up front. Cooper tried to find him. And the interception gets the ball back to Müller. To Grobe. Müller looking for McGhee. Cooper. That's asking a lot of Weir. McGhee. No, what's the decision this time? Offside against McGhee. Well, McGhee certainly has lacked nothing in effort throughout the match so far. A lot of skill involved also. Good kick out to Müller, and Augenthaler took most of the dead balls in the first half. Delhaya looking for the return pass from Dremmler. Electric pace. That's good defending, a great tackle from Müller on Rummenigge. He's been a great source of inspiration. That's a poor ball forward. Now Breitner, Pflügler making a run with Kennedy. Could have been a foul against the West German player, but the referee waves play on. There's McGhee. Dremmler surely holding him off. Grobe's tackle. McGhee is certainly a hot handful for the German defence. Here he goes again. Didn't quite get past Grobe. And Dremmler is taking no prisoner at all for Bayern at right back. Contested to the full by Peter Weir. That's Cooper. Weir and Cooper working the ball clear. Well, Cooper certainly wanted it badly. Great determination. Matched though by Hoeneß on that occasion. Pass from Breitner releasing Delhaya. This time the first time ball for Rummenigge. And Rougvie kept his head to play it back to Leighton. Stuart Kennedy. The target is McGhee. And Grobe standing and no ceremony at all, thumps it on to the roof of the stand. Wolfgang Grobe, 27-year-old centre-back. McLeish is up supporting the midfield. Müller is the only man back for Aberdeen for the moment. Well, a high ball towards Strachan is not the most likely way to break down the German defence, but it's Aberdeen's throw. Alex Ferguson is now in the Aberdeen dugout. He spent the first half in the director's box. Grobe. Well, the boos and whistles won't trouble him one little bit. McLeish is attacking that for Aberdeen. This is Horsmann. Kraus takes over. Breitner can't get to it. It's played back by Kennedy. Kennedy has a lot of room to come forward. Bayern have been quite content to allow space for Kennedy and Rougvie in deep positions to have a bit of time on the ball, but they've been closing down rapidly on men like Strachan and Weir. Played on by Rummenigge and cut off by Rougvie. That's for McGhee to chase. Grobe will reach it first. Hustled into an error. The referee took a lot of time about his decision, but gave the corner to Aberdeen. Rougvie and McLeish now making their way to the box. Weir again with the corner. Looking for Rougvie, seemed to be barged. And the referee gives the free kick to Bayern. Well, Rougvie appeared to be adjusting his position and Pflügler bumped into him, but the free kick goes to the German side. Hoeneß, second from right on the West German bench. Augenthaler, despite the strapping, takes the free kick. Rummenigge got the touch, took a bump on the head from McLeish, and Aberdeen have possession. Strachan. The pass just missed out McGhee. That would certainly have been dangerous. McGhee knows that. Little bit of applause for Strachan. The pass was just about a foot too far away from him. Rummenigge still the man who must be watched by Aberdeen. Handball by Rummenigge. Quite blatant. And strangely unnecessary too for the Bayern striker. Well, that's not really in character either. Rummenigge coming in with that heavy tackle. The free kick will have to be retaken. The referee has a casual languid air about him, Monsieur Vautreau from France. Pass was beyond McGhee and it's gone for the goal kick. Young Eric Blanc in the biggest match of his life so far. McLeish's header. Black holding off Grobe. Look how quickly the West German defenders close in. Breitner, a key man in midfield. Kennedy's header, a chase for McGhee. That could be handball, I think, against Kennedy. Yes, the free kick is given. So Pittodrie is a very strange ground in that there are moments of complete silence, virtually, despite a full house being inside the stadium. Coming to life with some whistling now. With a very knowledgeable and interested crowd. So Paul Breitner is being told by the referee, I think, about the time-wasting problem, indicating that time will be added on. Horsmann. Rummenigge deep to find space again. Wolfgang Dremmler. This is Kraus. Gets it back from Del Haye. It's a good run forward by Kraus. He's away from Weir. Get Pflügler on his left. Kennedy across very fast indeed. Chipping the pass forward. Now a chance for Strachan. That's great player of defence. Müller helping it to Strachan. Look at Simpson sprinting beyond Strachan on the outside. It could be used as a decoy. And a body check, and Gordon Strachan brings that attack to an end for the moment. Augenthaler was the offender. There was no way he was going to let Strachan go past in any circumstances. So the free kick to Aberdeen, 25 yards out. So there's a six-man wall with Mark McGhee as well. Breitner making 7. Weir fighting it for the goalie's top left-hand corner, but never had it on target. Strange that Augenthaler is allowed to take these dead balls with the strapped right thigh. Interesting conversation between Strachan and the referee, Monsieur Vautreau. I wonder what language they're using. There's Kraus. Del Haya has come off Rougvie to make space to run at the big defender. Peter Weir helping his defence. Now Dremmler. Hoeneß got a touch. McLeish. And that is a special goal coming in from Pflügler, which might well end Aberdeen's challenge in Europe. What a goal it was. We're 15 minutes into the second half, and Bayern go back in front. Hans Pflügler's the scorer. Now just look at this. The ball is played in. It's touched on by Hoeneß. McLeish heads it out, and look at that for a volley. So Pflügler, the scorer of the goal, which may well now be enough to see Bayern through to the semi-final of the Cup. A mammoth task ahead again for Aberdeen. 2-1 down. Less than half an hour left, and they have to find the net twice. Here's McGhee. Dremmler getting back. Grobe is also there. Cooper doing well to get that back for Rougvie. Black going for it. Bit of pushing by Black and Horsmann. So it's a free kick to Bayern just inside their own box. So Augenthaler will take the free kick again, despite the injury to his thigh. Bit of handball by Simpson. Now Kraus. Del Haya. Rummenigge. Miller's with him. And Rougvie back to pick up possession and link up with Weir. Dremmler to Del Haya. And this looking for the touch again. Pflügler was up in support. Now Strachan. So much depends on Strachan's influence in the final half hour for Aberdeen. Once again he's fouled by Pflügler. The two number 7s clashing. Ironic too that Hans Pflügler came into the side in place of Norbert Rougvie because of his defensive qualities, and yet he still had the skill and the power to score that quite tremendous goal. McGhee, a hand was used by McGhee. Well, no doubt about that spot of descent by McGhee. Frustration setting in. Hans Pflügler, the scorer of Bayern's second goal, now back to his midfield defensive beat. McGhee. Horsmann is with him. Bayern getting men back to close down the avenues available to Mark McGhee. Kennedy's throw. Strachan. And down he goes again. Well, how much abuse can the little man stand? It was Pflügler again. He must be a very lucky man, and indeed not to be shown a yellow card. A series of fouls, principally on Strachan. So Strachan recovers to take the free kick. Rougvie and McLeish are in the box. Hoeneß back, and Weir playing it against the defender for the throw. Rougvie. Simpson battling for it. Pflügler back. A hand appeared to be used. The crowd behind the goal claiming for a penalty kick. The referee showing a total lack of interest. Kennedy seeking out Black in the box. Augenthaler stood his ground brilliantly to head that clear. Strachan again. Crowded out. Very few places to go. Müller makes the option available inside. Black. Back it comes for Simpson, and that was promising from Aberdeen. It was a good build-up, and the opportunity set up by a great run from Willie Müller to take the pass inside from Strachan, play it forward to Black. A bit unlucky the way he controlled it, but he still managed to tee it up for Simpson. The shot not quite good enough. So now there will be a substitution before this goal kick is taken. Stuart Kennedy is going off. John McMaster coming on. So Aberdeen clearly going for broke. The side will have to be reorganised. Neil Cooper, I think, may well go to full-back. Yes, Cooper's going to left back. Rougvie's going to right back. McMaster going right into the middle of the field. McLeish's header as Aberdeen try to settle now into the new formation with Rougvie at right back and Cooper on the left. McMaster has become the central player in midfield alongside Neil Simpson, and that is undoubtedly because of his passing ability, especially early balls, picking out the strikers. Cooper. And was used by Breitner. Yes, the free kick is given. McGhee feels as though he was bumped in any event, but the free kick for handball comes to the same effect. For McMaster, taking charge. The wall is having to go back a yard or two. 5 in the wall. Strachan thumps it in. Black almost got a touch, and the referee has given a corner kick. Well, I can't confess that I saw the deflection. I thought that Black almost got to that ball from Strachan to deflect it in, but in any event, Aberdeen have the corner. Black is on that post. We're playing it across. The goalkeeper's committed. He didn't make it, and the referee's given a free kick to Bayern. Well, McLeish is very upset indeed. He's complaining that he jumped for the ball fairly, but the goalkeeper's in trouble. Manfred Müller is still on the deck. The customary European fashion, the referee allowing attention for the goalkeeper. But really, he didn't seem to be the victim of anything too serious as he went for the ball with McLeish. In fact, the goalkeeper seemed to mistime his approach for the ball. McLeish appeared to be in command. Players collided and McLeish was punished. Well, the referee allowing a lot of time for treatment for Müller, indicating that he's all right to resume. So the free kick to be taken by Augenthaler. Cooper attacking the ball in front of Delhaye. A long chase for Cooper. Must get the ball back in play quickly as time is fast running out for Aberdeen. Midway through the second half, trailing by 2-1, needing 2 to win. Grobe will be happy to play that behind, and the referee will have to make his mind up on this one. Indirect free kick is given to Aberdeen. Well, Grobe is penalised. He doesn't like it one bit, but McGhee was certainly trying to play the ball as the German defender protected it. 12 is McMaster, 11 is Weir. McMaster takes it. Helped on its way by Pflügler. Strachan collects the throw from Rougvie. The pass wasn't good enough. Horsmann easily escorting it behind for the goal kick. Horsmann's been a powerful player in the Bayern defence. Anxious Aberdeen skipper Willie Müller, showing excellent control. John McMaster had quite the nip and pace to reach that, but battling very hard. Here's Rummenigge. Kraus looking for Del High, and Cooper is alive to that pass. Had enough pace to get back. Neil Simpson, the scorer of Aberdeen's solitary goal in the first half. The Aberdeen supporters working up a chant to get behind the favourites again. Free kick has been given. Just less than 20 minutes left as Strachan lines up the free kick. Cooper is there. Augenthaler won it. Weir can't find a way past Dremmler to get the cross in. A very promising patch in the first half, Peter Weir, but he's been a bit subdued after the interval. That's McLeish coming to help. Good slide of foot from Weir. It's a great cross! And the save from Eric Black was quite brilliant. Manfred Müller, the West German hero. Now this really could so easily have been the equaliser. Weir took the ball back from McLeish, checked inside to his right foot. It was a great cross. Black got to it, a powerful header, and look at that for handling from Müller. So Müller, the hero for Bayern. That certainly is good enough to earn the bonus. Eric Black, I'm sure, couldn't believe that that didn't go in. Cooper is certainly rash with that challenge on Kraus. Wolfgang Kraus has taken a rap across the shins, which I wouldn't have thought merited that amount of agony. Free kick is taken, and the referee's having a word with Peter Weir, and that's certainly a case of mistaken identity if he thinks Weir was the offender. Clearly Neil Cooper. McMaster chases on for Black. Can he get to the ball first? Once again, Müller was alive to the situation, sprinting up his line. McMaster to Rougvie and back to Leighton. Oh, Dremmler claiming surely in the back of Peter Weir. Yes, the referee agrees. Cooper gives it short to McMaster. McGhee turning. Great play from McGhee. And Grobe, the very diligent marking defender. Grobe, number 4, has done a fine job at the back too for Bayern. Cooper playing it in, there's no one involved, and Aberdeen player is on the deck. Eric Black appeared to be taken out of the play as the cross came in, holding his face. But the referee's waving play on. Black will get no relief at all from the referee. With Black clearly taking a face knock. He's working very hard indeed alongside McGhee, trying everything they know, these two, to break down this Bayern defence. And with a little over 15 minutes left, they have to break that defence down twice. Rougvie once again being given a lot of space by the Bayern players. Strachan isn't. Two men closing in rapidly. Good ball from Rougvie. This is Simpson. Müller arriving. McGhee couldn't control it. Again, a promising build-up as Müller was springing from the back to link up in midfield. McMaster, just needed a touch. As Horsmann had denied him the chance. Pflügler. So quarter of an hour left. Can Aberdeen find the net twice in the last 15 minutes? Well, they're making another change. John Hewitt is coming on to go up front. Neil Simpson goes off. Hewitt has missed much of the season through injury. Back to his full vigour once more. He scored 4 for the reserves recently. Can he turn the tide for Aberdeen? Black trying to get on the end of the flick on from McGhee. Appeals for handball. What has the referee given? Yes, he's given the free kick. He's so casual and languid about it, the referee, you can never be sure. Strachan may well take it. Aberdeen throwing lots of players forward. Must throw caution away now as McMaster has a little chat with Strachan. Well, they couldn't agree, obviously. Strachan plays it in. The header finds the net. And Aberdeen are back in the match once more. McLeish gives Aberdeen a chance. What a great goal it was. Now, just watch this free kick. And if you think for 1 minute that Strachan and McMaster were in any kind of confusion, you're wrong. They were doing this quite deliberately with a carefully rehearsed piece of tomfoolery to deceive the German defence, and it worked. Strachan went back, took the free kick, McLeish stretched those neck muscles, and Müller couldn't keep it out. So McLeish picks up only his second goal of the season, but it gives Aberdeen the urge to force the pace in the last 13 minutes. Can they make it? There's Eric Black. The goalkeeper knocks it out. It's in the net and Aberdeen are in front. John Hewitt. Pittodrie goes berserk. John Hewitt's been on the field 2 minutes and he's scored the goal which might make European history for Aberdeen. Now the cross, the far-flung ball was always testing out this Bayern defence. Black leapt for it, a fine header. Müller again saving brilliantly. The first man in the spot was John Hewitt, and he's got his reward. Well, that scoreline is almost impossible to believe. 3 minutes ago, Bayern appeared to be costing through to the semi-finals, but Aberdeen would have none of it. 2 great goals. Eric Black setting up that goal as he set up the first for Neil Simpson. Well, the chanting and the singing all around the stadium. It's a night which the Aberdeen fans already will never forget, but they can't afford to relax. Bayern now pushing men into the box. Cooper's header clear. Here's Del Haye. Cooper won't let him go for the byline. Good play by the young defender. Hewitt using those young fresh legs to sprint after the ball. Well, the Aberdeen bench, I'm sure, can't believe it either. Alec Ferguson and Archie Knox biting their nails as well they might. 3-2 up, 11 minutes left. And the free kick is given to Aberdeen. Bit of relief there as McLeish clashes with Rummenigge. So Aberdeen had the free kick, and Aberdeen now have the opportunity to show a distinct lack of urgency. The Aberdeen supporters now singing, "Here we go, here we go." Augenthaler's had it clear, McMaster playing it forward, and the substitutions clearly did no harm at all for Aberdeen. McMaster has exerted influence in midfield, and John Hewitt has demonstrated the sharpness which has got him 7 goals before tonight, despite missing a host of matches. There's Hewitt first to the ball before Grobe. And John Hewitt is certainly a man to welcome onto the field the last 15 minutes. He's so sharp and alert and quick up front. He'll certainly make the Bayern defenders think. Now Breitner trying to inject some urgency into the Bayern play. Wolfgang Dremmler. Bill High controlling it. Cooper snapping into the tackle quickly. Oh, Hewitt gives it away to Delhaye. Into the box early. Willie Miller standing there to intercept the ball from Kraus. Well, McMaster is renowned for his long early passes from deep positions, but that wasn't one to test the Bayern defence. Müller once again a key man. He must marshal Aberdeen through these closing 10 minutes. Here's Rummenigge playing it wide to Delhaye. This is dangerous for Aberdeen. Delhaye in a good position to play a telling cross. Hoeneß is up for it. There's Rummenigge. Well, it certainly would have been a memorable goal, and he caught that correctly with a bicycle kick. Overhead kick, which Leighton took comfortably. Strachan calmly wide to Weir. It's all about possession now for Aberdeen, but how a fourth goal would clinch it, and that was a blatant body check. Wolfgang Dremmler made no attempt to play the ball. Indirect free kick indicated by referee Vautron. So Aberdeen's free kick, and with these young eager strikers up front, Black and Hewitt supporting this man, Mark McGhee, anything can still happen when the ball gets into that Bayern box. The goal kick to Bayern. Paul Breitner. There's Dremmler. We are working hard in a defensive role this time. It's a difficult one for Müller. He's having to backpedal. Judged it well. Rummenigge hustled and hurried by Strachan. Here's Dremmler. The match has suddenly taken on a new complexion. It's Bayern now who have to take the initiative. They have to carry the fight to Aberdeen for the first time in the match. Here's Augenthaler, the scorer of the opening goal. A great goal at that. Here's Breitner. Is he getting a chance to shoot? The pass to Kraus wasn't good enough. The timing was wrong, and Kraus was offside. Well, Breitner appeared to be being given the opportunity to have a shot at goal as Müller backed off him, but the pass to Kraus took the pressure off Aberdeen. Good play by McGhee. Here's Hewitt. Strachan getting some room now to play and trying to test the goalkeeper. Well, the European flag, the UEFA flag flying over Pittodrie. And we now face the real prospect of it flying for the first time over a semi-final. Augenthaler now struggling with that thigh injury. Calmly pulled down by Rougvie. Black to McMaster. Chase for Hewitt with Grobe. Hewitt's very quick indeed. And Grobe had to turn rapidly to play it behind. Well, now the referee, in fact, is giving a decision to Bayern. I think a bit of holding by Hewitt. The referee trying to sort things out. It really was a foul by Hewitt on Grobe. You can see now Augenthaler is having to limp with that thigh muscle injury. And why he still takes these dead balls, I really don't know. Played forward by Horsmann. There's Cooper. McMaster's headed on. Good leap by McLeish. Now can Strachan get this under control? Breitner challenging. McMaster wide to Black. Take it for a run up the flank if he can. Good tackle. Rougvie takes over, but Strachan's been penalised, I think. Yes, the free kick has been given to Bayern. The Aberdeen bench is not at all happy about that. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes between Aberdeen and the semi-finals. Here's Dremmler. Del Haya. Dremmler again. Hewitt will have to close him down. Into the heart of the box. McLeish plays it out. Here's Peter Weir. Can he get to this ball first? So here's Breitner. Played across by Rummenigge. Kraus arriving in the box late. And out it goes. Played forward by Dremmler again. That was misjudged in the air by McLeish. So Bayern get the corner. Now Hoeneß is complaining about Aberdeen time wasting. Rummenigge's corner kick. Leighton's in trouble and Del Haya couldn't get on the end of it. Well, a lot of hearts and mouths as that cross came over. Müller holding off Breitner, showing lots of strength as he went for the ball. Well, he's really enjoying himself now, the Aberdeen skipper. There's McGhee. McMaster to Rougvie. Now Cooper. And this will do for the Aberdeen players. They must keep possession. 3 minutes left. Eric Black's been a key man tonight up front for Aberdeen, involved in 2 of these 3 goals. Black heads it on. Hewitt is in and Müller swoops on the ball. Well, Aberdeen giving absolutely everything, both in defence and attack. Rougvie turns it back. Another man has been a tower of strength for Aberdeen. Black jumping for it with Horsmann. Played forward by Dremmler. Into the box for Rummenigge. Müller attacks the ball and clears it. Now Del Haya. Hewitt claiming it. And that's just the kind of save that the Aberdeen players and supporters welcomed. Cleanly taken. Now Strachan. To Hewitt. Bit of space now for Aberdeen to work in. McGhee keeping it in play. Black's waiting in the middle. Well, the cross wasn't up to scratch. There's Augenthaler with that heavy strapping. Holding off McGhee, but hasn't yet got the fitness to continue the job. McGhee plays it in and it's gone straight across for the goal kick. And look at Manfred Müller, he won't wait for the ball boy. Well, he sees this opportunity of a semi-final bonus fast disappearing. McMaster and McLeish, some confusion. There's Rougvie. Peter Weir. Rougvie has possession. There's 1 minute left for play. 3-2 to Aberdeen, the final minute of the match. Strachan plays it inside. McMaster reaches it. Played wide by McGhee for Hewitt. The support is there from Cooper. There's good possession play from Aberdeen. Strachan more intent on keeping the ball than anything else. Needs someone to come close though, he needs some support. He didn't have anyone inside and he's given possession away. Kalle Dilhaya. Danger man all night for Bayern. Halted by Strachan, appears to have been everywhere in the last quarter of an hour or so. Oh, that's good play from Hewitt, dragging the ball away from Dilhaya, attacking the heart of the German defence. Well, Wolfgang Dremmler has been lucky so far, in my view, not to be booked, and still he survives once again. Hewitt is the man on the deck. The 45 minutes of the second half are now over. We're into injury time. Dremmler back in his defensive position. A lucky man for my money not to be booked. And the Aberdeen supporters now beginning to build up a chant. So the free kick will be taken when the referee is satisfied that Hewitt's back on his feet. It's already taken, the final whistle goes. Aberdeen have won perhaps their greatest victory ever. Alex Ferguson dancing a jig of delight in the track, and well he might. His team came back from the dead. Supporters now unfortunately on the pitch. But Aberdeen, tied up at 1 apiece at half-time, went behind to a great goal from Pflügler, and then 2 goals in 60 seconds. The first from the head of McLeish, and then the winner from John Hewitt turned the match back to Aberdeen. And after a performance which will never be forgotten by the 24,000 people inside the stadium, Aberdeen go through to the semi-final.